Evet, yemek ve seyahat yazarı, aslında Polonya'da yaşayan Polonyalı Małgorzata MİNTA'nın moderatörlüğünde The Old is New, The New is Old. Małgorzata'yı alkışlarla sahneye davet ediyorum. So would you like to sit or would you like to walk around? And I mean, stage is yours. You can do whatever you like. Happy to have you here.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's so exciting to be in Istanbul again, but I'm even more excited for the afternoon here because I have an amazing chef with me, Enrique Olvera, all the way from Mexico City, and he needs some applause for that to make all this travel. Enrique Olvera, one of the most known and prominent Mexican chefs and restaurateurs, a true ambassador of Mexican cuisine and food culture of his home country. He is mostly known for his Mexico City-based restaurant, Puyol, where he treats the guests with Mexican flavors elevated to a gourmet experience, both intellectual but also fun and wholesome. He also runs a few projects in US, Damien or Cosme, to name a few. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Minta.
As probably not everyone here had a chance yet to be in your restaurants, your flagship restaurants, Puyol in Mexico City, I wanted to start with you telling us a bit more about it, how it started and how it's now, because it's run already for like more than 20 years.
Yeah. So we opened Puyol in the year 2000. When we first opened Puyol, the idea was to recreate a little bit the movement that was happening in the United States, because I went to school in New York. Back then, there was a strong New American cuisine movement with chefs like Alice Waters and Thomas Keller, Larry Forgione. And then I remember when I was studying, I always thought, no, Mexico has this huge heritage and very diverse and profound cuisine, so this can be done in Mexico. So this was the original idea when we arrived. First, we started doing modern techniques with Mexican ingredients. So it was more a contemporary Mexican restaurant. And then with time, what happened is that it became a more Mexican first and then contemporary second, because we started using more and more Mexican techniques. The contemporary cooking, we thought that it did not serve a purpose into Mexican cuisine because it distanced from the ingredients instead of connecting with them. So the use of modern techniques has become very subtle. Actually, when we moved to the new location, we started doing everything again only on the grill, on the charcoal, using a comal, and we basically got rid of any other equipment. The one equipment we have is a blender, because you cannot do Mexican cuisine without a blender.
Or strong muscles, I guess.
Unless you do it at home, no, because you cannot do molcajete for 250 people. That's the number of covers we do every night. And I think also part of the evolution of Puyol has been how we construct the menu. I think something that is very important to us is to make sure that our guests are not only enjoying the meal, but actually have a good sensation and a good feeling when they leave the restaurant. So our tasting menus have become shorter. We try not to mix a lot of protein in the menus, because I personally think, maybe because I'm getting a little old, well, a lot older, but now I feel like you cannot mix, like if you have a menu and you have seafood and you have poultry and you have meat, the digestion process is not soft, and it's not something also that is done in Mexican cooking. You would never have at somebody's house 3 different kind of proteins, no? So yeah, we've been decanting, correcting ourselves. We understand that Puyol has its own path, and there's many ways of doing Mexican cooking. We don't like also the discussion between old and new, and that is the reason of the name of the conference, because we believe that cooking is more elliptical, no, like it's something that you come back every year, no, like ingredients, you come back to mangoes and to huitlacoche, no, so it's always there. So it's every time you come back as a different person or as a different restaurant. But we don't see cooking like this is the past, this is the future, but it's actually more like a wheel.
As you said, like with Puyol, with your journey, you started to tap more also even to the old techniques, like getting rid of all the like fancy schmancy gadgets and sticking to the grill and fire. So you take a lot of inspiration from what's old, but so what's amazing about Puyol that it's like super relevant to modern palates. And could you maybe talk us through like your creative process, how it looks like how you find this one thing that, oh, this is actually like something cool we can implement and make it like cool also like nowadays or exciting for the contemporary diners?
Yeah, so the creative process depends on each restaurant. Each restaurant has its own chef de cuisine, and the chef de cuisines are very strong at our restaurants. We don't believe in a corporate structure that oversees the creative process. So each chef, like Jesus or Gustavo or whoever is running the kitchens, actually with a team has the creative process going on. And I think what we have been able to achieve is more of a DNA in between all of the restaurants that has to do with very simple principles of cooking with the local ingredients that are in season, then using our heritage and our memories as the way to transform those ingredients, and then plating them in the most simple and delicate and considerate way, no, with good intention. So with those things in mind, the menu will be very different in New York than in Mexico City, because the ingredients are different, but also because, like I said, no, it's the technique and the memory. So, for example, Jesus, that has a very strong French background because he worked in France for a while. You see now in Puyol his influence, no, and a lot of the dishes have Jesus's print to them. And then when we discuss things, obviously, you know, I give my feedback. But I think for me, as more like a founder of the group, my role now is to make sure that they can correctly express what they're thinking, more than pushing my own agenda.
We talk a lot about like the legacy and heritage for this last 2 days. And what I find also like interesting with your restaurant is that actually sometimes you dig out like this, sometimes forgotten, not that super well known, or techniques or ingredients, and you put like you shed a light on them. So do you have the feeling that with Puyol you also help to keep some heritage or like some things that are disappearing? Like I believe that some dishes are like dodos, that they're going to extinction. And I wonder how it's like in Mexico, and do you feel that your restaurant also play a role in keeping them alive?
Yeah, I see that as an opportunity, because now a lot of the cuisines have been simplified. Even within Mexico, you see, for example, now tacos al pastor being served in Oaxaca. So regionality has become less of a factor, and it's something that we want to make sure that this is conserved. So we are more and more trying to make sure that, first of all, we speak in plural, not in singular. No, so we speak about corns and tomatoes, no, and not tomato, because this is something also that I think is relevant for everyone everywhere. No, this morning I was walking through a fruit stand, and it's crazy that we have the same fruit than in Mexico. No, I mean, hopefully we go back to the days where you went to a market, no, and you found things from the place and not just like the same basket of ingredients. And this is something that we want to do. So that's the first step, is making sure that we establish very solid relationships with producers that also share this common goal of preserving diversity. And then with diversity of products, you have diversity of recipes. And that is also something that is super important because, for example, if you use chayote, like everybody in Mexico uses chayote, the squash, but not a lot of people use the root of the chayote, which is amazing, but you can't find it anymore. So for example, in Pujol, even if we wanted to use it, because of the amount of product that we need, there's nobody that can give it to us. So this is something that we started working last year, and we will be doing a lot of in the following years, is trying to develop also purveyors, because it's something that is limiting us right now in terms of the creative process.
I'm a food journalist on a daily basis when I'm not like moderating talks on stage, and probably like one of the like topics or like the word that is like coming back like a boomerang in discussion is like authenticity of the food. And we are talking for these 2 days about like legacy and heritage, but also like how we should evolve with the traditions, or how traditions should evolve. I believe they should, otherwise they die. But also how they can be interpreted. And I wonder what's for you like this fine line, even when you sometimes like tap to old techniques or get inspired with old traditional dishes. When is this like fine line between like authentic yet like reinterpreted or like, you know, creative take on something old, and when it gets like corrupted or it's losing its essence? Like how you find this, you know, this perfect point of balance there?
Well, maybe we can watch the video,
okay,
no? And
so
then
let's
that
watch
way
the video.
we can speak about it afterwards. If the video doesn't display, then we can talk about it.
Can we have the video, please?
Perfect.
Cuando te metes a una milpa te pierdes. Cuando estás allá adentro es literal un universo.
Pues este todavía pasa como el otro, porque ya como estos ya son, ya se tienta bien duros, estos ya son mazorcas, ya no sirve para comer así como en elotes, ya es para ya dejar que se seque para maíz, ¿eh? El macho es el polen que sale de la espiga de la milpa, y ese polen cae en estos pelos, y esos pelos le sirven como guía para que llegue hasta donde están los maíces. Mira cuánto maíz tiene, eso sí, así es un pelo cada maíz.
Yo me llamo Cayetano Limón Sánchez, tengo 69 años de edad, soy campesino. La milpa es la mata, de ahí viene el jilote, del jilote viene el elote, del elote viene la mazorca y de la mazorca el maíz.
Se nixtamaliza, que es básicamente esta cocción de agua con cal. Se deja reposar toda la noche, se enjuaga, se mete al molino. Con el molino tienes la masa, ¿no? Y luego la masa ya se hacen las diferentes formas de tortillas y de tamales y de tostadas. En la tortilla cabe todo. La tortilla hace que se vaya a lo mexicano, te puedes hacer un taco de lo que quieras. Para mí y para todos los mexicanos es el sustento de nuestra cultura. O sea, nuestra cultura existe gracias al maíz y el maíz existe gracias a nuestra cultura.
So, just to answer the question to us, I think authenticity means that the product has a deep connection to the culture. Also, that there's a traditional use to that product, and then how do you maintain that authenticity is by respecting those two things. No, it doesn't matter if you're a little bit creative in the plating, or in our case, because we still do a tasting menu in Pujol, we have to adapt portion size, no, and sometimes make it like a little bit cleaner, so you're able to do multiple courses. But in general, I think, yeah, if you're respectful, you're authentic, and if you're true to yourself, no?
I think we are already like done with time.
Oh.
But I think it was a great thought to keep from this conversation. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being with us, and thank you
And
again for being
I
with us.
apologize for the inconvenience for yesterday.
No, it's okay. I mean, better late than never, right?
Yes.
We were going to do it yesterday, we did it today, and we
Thank
were
you.
able to know you. It was such a
Thank you.
pleasure for us.